Hey guys, Toxicake here. So, if you remember, around 2 weeks ago I released a video claiming that World War III was really good and how much I loved it and supported what it was doing. Well, wouldn't you know it, it finally got released and I got a chance to play it. And I just gotta say, guys, don't buy this game right now. It's in early access. It doesn't work as a game. Not only that, but there's so much people just praising it, saying it's, oh look, this is the ultimate Battlefield killer, this is the best game ever, blah blah blah. But in reality, as a complete Battlefield fan, and then when I played this, I am just so disappointed what went wrong here. The main reason is that it's released as an early access, which basically means, here, buy our game, it's not finished yet, but buy it anyway. Actually, that reminds me, this game is suspiciously similar to this other game that's in early access. And the developers are hiding behind this early access as described shield, saying that, oh wait, there's bugs? Oh, but it's in early access. The worst part about this game is not that it's even difficult, it's just stupid, the system it's working on. First of all, let's say you got killed and then you see that, oh look, objective A is getting captured. What should I do? Maybe I should spawn in there. So you spawn in there and then guess what? There's a guy standing right in front of you. He obviously just spawn kills you. And after that you have to wait around 15 seconds at the loadout screen again. The weapons sometimes in this game are completely useless. Right now there is virtually no point using pistols because, oh, why'd you need pistol if you have a shotgun or another assault rifle? And even that, the sniper rifles just feel like pellet guns. One time I hit a guy and it only did 35 damage with a sniper rifle. That just shouldn't be a thing. I've measured and on average it takes around 6 bullets to kill someone with a pistol that is not on automatic. What? Who thought of that? On the other hand, you can one-shot someone with a submachine gun or an assault rifle. So you get the point, the TTK is very, very random. They also say that if you shoot someone in the chest, but the bit where it doesn't have armor, it does more damage than a headshot. That's what it feels like. It's a 2-hit to the chest. What? In Battlefield, it's also being almost like a trademark, the squad play. But in here, like, the maximum squad play you'll get is probably just sticking a syringe and healing someone. You can't go together as this one awesome squad capturing the objective. Usually it's very, very scattered away and it's very rare to find a teammate with you. Now guys, people I think are getting sponsored by Farm 51, the makers of World War III, to boost its sales. So let's take a look at this allegedly sponsored video.
I think if I had to narrow it down to one thing that I really like about World War III is that I've kind of had this feeling that Battlefield hasn't been quite right for a while. Recently I realized it came down to the gaming loop. The idea of a gaming loop is where a player is presented with a challenge. It's in every game. A player is presented with a challenge, they have a tool set to solve that challenge, then they beat it or they don't beat it and they learn something, and ideally they get rewarded for it.
Yeah, I 100% agree with this fine gentleman. He has a very nice voice and he sounds like he knows a bit about gaming. So let's hear what he has to say about Battlefield 5 then.
It's this continual loop that happens moment to moment in games and also happens between matches. So a great example of that is Titanfall, where you spawn in, you fight the other team, you do great, you get your Titan, you do more great work with your Titan, and hopefully you win the match. Battlefield 5 doesn't really have that loop. Because of the smaller map sizes and the random vehicle spawns, there's no reward for you doing anything, in my opinion, anymore. Yeah, there's the squad commander system, but that's one person in your squad who's like getting rewarded.
Okay, technically in Battlefield 5, almost everybody in the server can have the squad kind of commander points and stuff like that, because, you know, they can create their own squad and then they can be the squad leader and collect the points. Okay, and the thing about Titanfall is, yeah, I played it, but the multiplayer just gets so repetitive. It's doing the same thing over and over. Yes, the Titan gameplay is actually very, very good, but the rest of it just feels like a COD game or something. The only thing that makes Titanfall original is obviously the Titans. which aren't that common actually. The smaller map sizes make the gameplay a lot more dynamic and a lot less tedious. It's not like a Call of Duty map small, it's more of an Operation Locker small. And credit to him, he does say in the end that it is, after all, his opinion that he doesn't get rewarded.
So basically you spawn, you run somewhere, you die, you spawn, you run somewhere, you die. You do that over and over again, and you never feel like you're getting your Titan to drop, right? So like the tanks are just sitting in the back of the field, and you have to randomly die at a time when a tank is randomly spawning, and then randomly hope you have a good round in that tank and not get killed by an engineer.
Okay, first of all, you spawn, you run somewhere, you die cycle can literally describe every single round-based FPS ever. You know, that Overwatch, you know, Arma 3, TF2, Call of Duty, of course, Titanfall. It's just very, very vague, and every game has their own little mechanics and niches. Okay, so you don't actually have to randomly die and then randomly see a tank spawn. You can actually just wait in the system and kind of hoard the plane or the tank until it actually spawns, like I do in Battlefield 1 and 4, for example. But the last bit, okay, you can be a skilled pilot and a skilled tanker and just dominate the server. It's not luck-based.
I think that World War III, in a nutshell, is doing a much better job at this loop. So they have battle points. You spend those battle points on the tank, or like on the artillery strike, or on the other elements of the game, almost like a little bit of a Call of Duty element to it.
It's very similar to the Call of Duty score streak system. But it's not as aggressively dependent on whether you're kicking a whole bunch of ass.
The game also improves on Battlefield 4 in certain ways that are really interesting and moves the genre forward a bit. Like, you can choose to get bonus points for attacking or defending objectives. So you can sit back and choose to defend and get rewarded for it, or you can choose to go off and attack and get rewarded for it.
And they are right that you do get points and you do get like these kill streaks from COD, like special abilities. Like, it's very rare that you actually get a good kill or use the radar correctly. But like, how fun is it to just take out a radar and then just pin it on an objective and say, oh look, I can actually see the enemy, woo, fun. Yeah, you can choose either to defend or attack. But to be honest, first of all, who's going to enjoy just camping, just a single objective, just waiting for the enemies to come? Like, does that make a fun gameplay loop? I don't think so. And the points you earn for defending and attacking is so small and insignificant. I earned roughly around 125 points. In comparison to calling a radar, it's 600. And the radar isn't really that good either.
You know, Battlefield for a long time has kind of strayed away from the idea of conquest points being something that you want to stick around and defend. They're just not very interesting.
I wholeheartedly approve of this approach. One of my biggest gripes about Battlefield for a long time now is that conquest capture points aren't worth holding for any reason. If you can go back to some older versions of Battlefield where if you were holding that point, you would have artillery, you might have an airfield that was spawning planes, there might be a tank spawn there, there might be a real reason to hold that position. And in recent versions of Battlefield, it's basically a ditch or next to a bridge or something that really is just a place to sit for 30 seconds while you wait for a timer to go off. And World War III isn't that different on that respect, but its system of, capturing 2 points to get points instead of one single location. There's like binary location capturing.
Here it describes the newer Battlefields as discouraging you to defend the objective. Is that really a bad thing? It stops you from camping the objective? Who would want, that creates such, gameplay difficulties that if you try and attack an objective and there's just a trillion people there, it's not fun. You'll call them campers, you'll get frustrated, but it's just terrible. Okay, and in all honesty, the binary location capturing thing he's on about, okay, it does basically nothing. They're just extra objectives. It doesn't actually feel like they matter in the actual game that I played. Furthermore, because of the absolute terrible map design in World War III, it encourages people to run out in the open for LMG fire, for sniper fire, in an attempt to capture the objective. that's not fun for the campers, and that's not even more fun for the attacking team.
One of the things I like about this game so far is the weapon customization and loadout options. It's similar to Insurgency in that it's based on weight, and at least at this point in the early access, everything is available to you. So you don't have to unlock things. You can just go in there and modify the weapons the way you want them, plug them into your loadout, and it'll just be dependent on how encumbered you want to be. And that really gives you a lot of freedom to decide how you want to play the game and what kind of sort of tactical player you want to be, rather than being dependent on unlocks the way Battlefield has become so tedious with unlocking. I really like these games that are sort of treating you more like an adult on that level. You're treated like you can figure out what you want, and you're going to have those toys available to you right away.
Okay, in my opinion, this is by far the stupidest thing they've said this whole video. They basically removed all kind of progression and unlocked everything for you from the very start. And at first that does sound super convenient. When you finally start playing the game and you notice that all the customization is basically changing the muzzle brake to 30 different types, or having your magazine be 20 or 30 rounds, or attaching 20 different types of suppressors. The only real customization in the game are basically sights that I've noticed, because all the recoil management, that doesn't change at all. They claim that Battlefield's become tedious with unlocking weapons, and at that I do agree with them. I mean, who needs like a skill-based unlock system to gradually unlock better guns and feel the satisfaction of finally getting the Glock 18? Guys, and on that I think I'm gonna end this rant on World War III. In short, please don't buy this game right now. It's really broken. Wait until it gets stabilized. Guys, this is really important. Please don't send over hate to these gentlemen. They're actually very nice guys. They have explained it very casually, not really forcing their opinion on you. So please do give them a shout out. Give them likes. After all, they're doing their job. Anyways, guys, this has been it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.